You are not creating, because you come from work, you need to attend to your husband, you need to cook and blah, 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 blah. And you feel like, yeah, one time my child messed up and you don't want to get over that mess. And this child is hurt. So this boy is coming to cling to you in the kitchen. Mommy, can I do this? Blah, blah. And he wants to have a conversation with you. But because already he made a mistake that you don't want to get over and forgive him, you already block him. You start telling me, do blah. You start shouting at this boy. And this boy, I came to realize he has been raped. He was once raped. He was brought up by where mama is always busy and going to work. And the house girl raped this boy. And the mother has never known this. So it's time that we try and create an environment where our children can give us conversations. They can begin the conversations. Be also sometimes that you can lay back as a parent, be ready to listen to your own child.
Right.
Because in this world, as I've said, the community is not bringing up everybody's child. Everybody is carrying their cross. Your child is your child and your responsibility alone. It's no longer how it used to be for us.
Right.
So if your child does not have a friend in you, who else is going to listen to that child? That is why we have small boys growing to men, and they take these traumas to their wives because they know no other better. We are passing them what was given to us by our parents, and we are passing it to our children, which is very wrong. That's why we are feeling that they are difficult. They are not difficult. Time has changed. How you were brought up is not how your mother was brought up. How your mother was brought up is not how your grandmother was brought up.
True.
So things have changed. Same way to how governments change. Same way to how technology changes is how parenthood is changing. This one we need to accept and embrace and create space for this growth. Because I see it, I don't view it as a difficulty, I view it as growth.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me push you a little bit further on this same parenting thing. Looking at how we make our families abroad. You know, a lot of us Africans, humans, I should say, by chance happen to have kids out of wedlock.
Yeah.
And some, after marriage with kids involved, happen to divorce and get onto a new relationship. How does a child that is involved in this kind of relationship get to feel safe? Who is responsible for this child's safety? For example, in my previous relationship, I had a child. Now I have moved on to a new one. And I have to go with my child, isn't it? But this child is also
as a man.
part.
You as a man.
Yeah, this child, it goes both ways. It can also be a woman.
Yeah.
So you are building on something new with this child involved. How does this child get to feel safe or protected in these circumstances? Because I think this is common with us abroad.
This is your child.
It's my child. And it could be yours.
No. As a man, this is your child.
True.
It's not bad to move on. But remember, this is your blood and flesh.
Okay.
Nothing should change. You are the father and the mother everywhere you go with that child.
True.
Nothing should change. The child should feel safe with you no matter what happens. Yes, there's going to be another mother. We respect this mother.
Okay.
And this mother should also know the boundaries with this one that is my flesh and blood. Remember, we spoke of boundaries.
But you know, not a lot of men can strike or stress on this fact because sometimes women are manipulative. I'm sorry to say, just like men too can be manipulative sometimes.
Yeah.
So I want to be sure that we are able to identify this line, as you say. I want to be sure that we are men and women enough to put our child's interest first.
Thank you.
You get it? Because I have seen cases where a man becomes so helpless in this space to say anything regarding his son. It is easier for women because men will always accept these children. But when it comes to women, there is that kind of complexity in between to fully accept this child from this man as her own, especially when she starts making her own baby. This one is natural. My own first.
No.
You get that?
No. I think this one has got to do with individuality.
Okay.
This has got to do with individuality. Because why would I put my own child's interest on hold just because I'm moving on with another man? Never.
That is coming from a woman. But men are always put in a very tight space.
It depends. It depends with the individuality.
Tell me something about that.
We have men that have brought up their children. I have a very good example. It's, this gentleman who used to work for the Teachers Union in Kenya. He had been single for quite some time, and he brought up his own children, I think, for 10 years.
Okay.
It's not that he didn't have something going on, but he made sure there is a territory for his children, their home, and everything else was outside.
Okay.
And those children felt protected.
He might have happened to be one of those people who did that.
That's why I said it has got to do with individuality.
Look at the ratio. Look at the percentage of men that exposes their children or puts their children in harm's way.
We have also women who expose their children. I think it has got to do also with what is inside of this person. Because remember, last time we spoke about something, we said to feed the soul.
Yes, we did.
If I got a divorce and now I have children and the divorce was nasty, there's something that I need to feed. There's a void in me, there is pain in me, and of course you're looking for validation. Maybe you have not even healed properly and you're looking for someone to love you, and it's messy. That's why healing is very, very important. Once again, self-awareness is important. And most of us as Africans, we don't believe in celibacy. Because once you are in your celibacy period, you get to know who you are, what you want. You can make the boundaries, what you want for your children, what comes first, what, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. And with celibacy also, healing comes very easily because you're not attracting any other person's energy. You're not dealing with any other person's, we call them foreign spirits and all that. Yeah.
I'm trying to look at how to balance this whole thing, because in this child life, I feel like, or I understand that there are 4 persons involved. The man, stepmom, mom, and the child.
Yeah.
So how do we create a balance for these 3 other major figures to be, be responsible enough or consider or put this child's interest first? Because trust me, there are cases where, because the child's mother actually is still hurting over the fact that she's no longer with that man,
that child,
she might have an influence on this child. So no matter what this woman at home is doing, even if it's for the best interest of that child, you feel like this woman is trying to snatch your child from you. And so
you as a father, why in the first place are you staying with my child and we have divorced? Why? You want to be in the life of your child?
He's his son, right?
He's a son, yeah.
He's his child, right?
Yeah.
So we also have that right,
You can be in your son's life because you're now involving another woman. I feel this child is more safe with the mother. I don't know.
So
maybe people will throw stones at me.
This is the complexity of the
maybe
whole thing right
people
now.
will throw stones at me, but I feel a child is more safe with the mother. Not unless the mother is a drug addict, not unless the mother is sick, not unless the mother is yeah. But I feel a child is always more safe with the mother.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless otherwise.
I am looking at the possibility.
Yeah.
For these persons involved to be, you know, communicative enough in various aspects to better the life of this child. Because remember, the person who is at the center now is this child on all three persons.
And that is
Dad,
why.
mom, stepmom.
That's why we spoke about the 5 pillars, where we have religion, we have respect, we have boundaries. We're still going back to it.
Yeah, but
we have friendship. And so I think if it is for the better of this child, then we have dialogue, whereby we still have to sit and talk. So that we can come to, all of us, we can come to the level of this child. So that this child does not feel like there is a tug of war. I think it's best that the parties included can always sit with the child and talk.
I, as a man, right?
Yeah.
First of all, let me start by saying, I'm never going to let my child go as much as I have the capacity to take care of my child. Point number 2, if I am moving forward into a new relationship,
yeah,
my child comes with me. And you, as the woman that is coming into my life, right? You've got to accept me and accept my son.
Not only accepting.
You know, and the acceptance will have to do with
loving, respecting, and boundaries.
Nurturing to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
And I, as a man, also have the responsibility to make my ex, my child's mother, to understand that there is a woman in command at home.
No, that's a tug of war, yeah?
Yeah, it therefore means that I understand that you want the best for your son or your child. I also want that. And I understand that my woman at home also want that. So there is just no way I'm going to let you counter things or counter the way my home is being run. Because that is where the problem starts.
Yeah, yeah.
You feel like you know better than my wife at home. Of course, this is your child. But I, who cares about my son, have to make sure that I, oversee, the activities between these two that I have at home, to make sure that my son is not being abused or my child is not being abused, and he is not reacting based on emotion towards my wife. That's me trying to create this balance here right now.
Yeah.
Because if we do not make this happen, there is always going to be that issue of a bad stepmother based on the influence that this child is having from the mother. Because that is what she's definitely going to try to make that child to see about my wife.
Yeah.
So we have that responsibility to make sure that you oversee the communication between these 3 figures. My wife, step, and my son. And my wife must have access to me at every time of the day. My son would never, or my child would never want something from me, and then I'm asking this guy to go see my wife to talk to her, because that is always the case.
Yeah.
Come to me and talk to me, son.
That's why I said there has to be a relationship between you and the child.
So it takes a level of strength and a level of discipline, like manhood, real manhood, to be able to structure this kind of, atmosphere for things to be balanced. So that's where I'm coming from. I think for me, that's how I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you're actually right. I would second you on that. But why are we having a child not with the mother? It's quite questionable. Not unless the mother is harmful, not unless the mother is using drugs, not unless the mother is irresponsible, or she is gotten married to an abusive person, or maybe she's out and about doing these extracurricular activities that the child is
all
not
those are
safe.
involved.
All those could be
They are
involved.
possible.
But always, I always feel at some given point a child, especially, and that is why the law supports that. When you go to court and you're having a divorce, they always check on the age of the child.
Okay.
Yeah. And they say if a child is less than 12, they stay with the mother.
I'll give you an example for myself.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
From infancy,
Yeah.
my grandmother took care of me.
Yeah.
Because of issues that, I cannot really like put out there, but my parents were stable, young, vibrant,
Yeah.
adult who experimented life and,
I can imagine.
so I think there are cases that would actually brought somebody to have custody over this person involved. And looking at the case in Europe, a lot of things happen for different reasons.
Sure.
So what becomes of this child? This is the effect that we have today. And more of the Gen Zs that we have are coming from such family setup.
But the Gen Zs are not difficult. Why do you want to remain in bringing up children in your stone age? Can we stop this?
Imagine a Gen Z without a father.
Still a child. Excuse me, I'm a widow.
I understand.
And my children are the most disciplined.
That is a different case. Your man was there to lay a foundation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It is different from what we are having here. Most of us from day one, we are not even present.
But I think also, even if we are dealing with Gen Z, I think it's time also we start dealing with this kind of age whereby we just tell our men, please do not make babies if you will not be there for the baby. Please do not make babies if you will not marry the woman. Can we go back to that age whereby we used to govern things and people are not just making babies left, right, and center and leaving the woman? Because at the end of the day, there will be another man involved in bringing up your child. Hello?
I had similar conversation with somebody, right? I said, do you think because you fertilize an egg equals to you being a father? He said, yes, he's the father. I said, no.
It is not. It is not.
I said, no. And we had some kind of, argument, but actually, okay, that's our opinion. Because for me, I think that my uncle or my step that stood for me and nurtured me and gave me a foundation is a father.
That is a father.
So let us help our brothers understand one thing here. For the fact that
I think also it's the time we should tell these people, when you begin conversations when you guys are left and right looking for girls here in Europe, when you sit and you want this person, it's time you tell this person, you tell the lady, I am here to have fun.
Yeah.
I am here to have sex. I am here to have ABCD. Be very open. Be very open. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then we will not be having children left, right, and center without their fathers and without their mothers. What do you think?
I think
at that point we will call that emotional and psychological respect.
Oh, yeah.
If I am talking to someone, we are in a talking stage, we are dating, please tell this sister or tell this brother, hello, I am not here to make babies. I am here to have fun.
This is something that is common with, the Westerners, but for us Africans, it's difficult to put it out there like that. We are beginning to learn how to say that.
I think it's better we start to teach them how to do it, my brother, because at the end of it, we are bringing up an innocent soul that is going to suffer for the rest of their life, and they will have a family that will also suffer. Are you getting me? Yeah. And it's painful.
It's painful. It is painful because I see a lot of the influence.
We will bring up children who are going through rejection. We will bring up children who are going through a lot of trauma, and then they will pass this to their own children. They will be the ones that are raping everybody everywhere. They will be the ones that are abusing women and abusing teachers and not understanding anything in class, and then they will become useless in this life because they are hurting. A normal human being should be healthy, happy, accepted, loved, appreciated. This is what we want in the generation we want to bring up.
7 out of 10 times that I've had conversation
Yeah.
with the young guys, young girls that were born abroad, 7 out of 10 times,
Yeah.
dad was never present. And as I went deeper, either he doesn't have access to them, going through legal battle over child custody, which that we cannot really justify, or they've never seen them and they don't even make any attempt, which we do not know why that is happening. But no matter what it is
still taking us
it
back
takes us back to the same effect on these children.
On these children, because why you as a mother of this child, did you grow up with a father?
Asking me?
No. We are looking at now this child. Daddy was not present. Oh, they have never met daddy, or he is not somewhere, he's fighting battles and blah blah to get the custody of the children. But you as a mother, why are you so selfish that you want your children not to have a father?
Answers
why
that
you
I cannot get.
Why you brought up by a father and your mother? And again, we have traumas. That's what I'm saying. We need to break this chain. Of course, if a woman is behaving like that, there is a childhood trauma that she has brought to her marriage and passing to her children.
In addition to that, some of them feel that because this guy left, that is the only way they can use to torment the guy, by restricting access. And that's you being selfish, because you cannot let your differences damage your own child's, mental state or emotional space.
Let us not also look at it only on the women's side. We have things that men have been doing that, and I look at some.
You are right.
Some men, and they are like, okay,
you are right.
You must have been harvested from a zoo. Please forgive me. Because we have people that impregnate even kids, even we have people who rape women, and then that child comes up, and then you want to settle it out of court, and then there is a child that was brought into the world through rape, and you can imagine the kind of trauma that we are going to bring up to the next and the next and the next generation. Healing is still very important in our family. Forgiveness is also important.